The junior senator from North Carolina.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to take a moment to talk about history, and then I will be making a unanimous consent request. 130 years ago, it's the first time the Lumbee tribe in North Carolina sought recognition. But you got to go back about 250 years. But that's not even enough. You got to go back to the colonial times to see a tribe indigenous to North Carolina who has maintained a culture, maintained a language, done everything that they need to do to be acknowledged as a Native American tribe. 130 years ago, they sought recognition, and they were turned away. Every year since then, they've come to Congress to try and find recognition, and they've failed to do it. Back in the 1950s, the Congress of that time, and we can talk about that, I will talk about that in future speeches, at once recognized the Lumbee and then unrecognized the Lumbee. The Lumbee tribe in North Carolina is a tribe that has a distinct culture. They have a distinct language. They're a tribe that I've been working with for years, since the time I was Speaker of the House, helping them continue to preserve a heritage that has existed since the tribe first formed. We've been trying to get the Lumbee recognized for several years. As a matter of fact, the bill that I'm going to ask unanimous consent for was sent to the Senate on the suspension calendar with huge bipartisan support in the House. And it's not the first time that's happened. It's happened several times. But for some reason, when it comes to the Senate, it goes to die, and I don't understand that. In fact, I'm going to spend a lot more time trying to understand it. I'm going to try and understand why the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, and the Cherokee, the Eastern Band, in my own state oppose it. Some of them say because it's the integrity of the recognition process. I don't believe that. But I'm going to go into that discussion with them next year with open eyes and open ears. But I believe that there's something more sinister involved in their objection to the Lumbee being recognized. And I promised the Lumbee tribe that every week that I'm in the Senate, for as long as I'm in the Senate, we're going to cast light on what are the legitimate objections to the Lumbee being recognized. It is time for them to be recognized. Tonight, through unanimous consent, we could send a bill to the President's desk, and we would right a wrong that has existed for 130 years. Now, I know there are objections on our side of the aisle. I also understand that this was cleared by all the Democrats, no objections. But I have 6 on the Senate side that I'm going to have to work on, and I have to do my homework. I expect that. I'm not lazy. I'll do that. But I do want people to understand that this tribe deserves respect. This is a tribe that's just down the road from Fort Bragg. They disproportionately serve in the Army. In spite of the disrespect that this nation has directed their way for over a century, they have served with valor. They have served with honor. They are serving their community. They're maintaining their heritage. And I believe the time is now that they be recognized. Now, if that hadn't happened tonight, I want the Lumbee people to know that I'm going to continue to fight for them in the same way that Senator Burr has for almost 28 years. So, Madam President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of calendar number 522, H.R. 2758. I further ask that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Is there objection?
Madam President.
The junior senator from Mississippi.
I object.
Objection is heard.
Madam President, may I speak for a moment?
The senator has the floor.
I respect my colleague from Mississippi. We do great work together. This is an area where we have to agree to disagree. But again, I want the Lumbee, I want the Choctaw, I want the Chickasaw, I want the Cherokee, and I want every tribe who has objected to this, while the majority of Native American tribes support it, know that we're going to have a lot of quality time together over the next 2 years. Thank you, Madam President.